The next thing that we do is crochet along the top of these triangle rows. Now, I've chosen to do 4 rows. You can choose less or more. That is completely up to you. What I have done here is 2 double crochet clusters. I tried using 3 and there was just way too many stitches, so don't try going into the normal granny cluster for this one. So there's just 2 double crochets into each space all the way along. Let's go and I'll show you how to do this. When we're doing these rows on top of the large triangle segment, you will probably need a very fine crochet hook to be able to work your stitches into that first stitch, which is a magic ring. It's really tight, and most of them I have not been able to get my normal 4mm into. That one has worked because I've stretched it out, but it's just easier to use a much smaller hook to do those 2 double crochets into that magic ring. All right, that's just a little handy tip. Then when we start these rows in the smaller triangle segment, you start it over here on the very right hand side, which is in the first triangle. Okay, so you'll see the loop that's open, ready to go. You might think that you need to start here, but it's starting right in the top of the first little half triangle. Making sure that your triangle segments are facing the correct way. We'll make a slip knot, yarn over, so we're doing a standing double crochet, and we're just going into that space on the very right hand side up the top of that little half triangle. So we're going to make 2 double crochets in there. Now I'm not using any chains in this at all. We're going to go straight over to the next triangle, and you'll find the space there for 2 more double crochets, and working our way along here in all the chain spaces, doing 2 double crochets, nice and easy. Now we're coming up to the start of this little triangle, and I'm not working into this magic ring here. So the triangles that have this little spine, I'm not working into at all. We're going to skip over those and just go to the next chain space. Okay? We do work into them at the ends, but we're not working into the magic ring in the center of the triangles. Continuing on with 2 double crochets in each chain space. Now we've got this junction of all 3 triangles, and we are going to work 2 double crochets into the top of this center triangle. Okay, we are actually working into the top of the spine of this one. Pop your hook in, do 2 double crochets in there like that. Then we go straight into the chain space to the left of it. I'll lay it out in a second, I'll show you. 1 and 2. Okay, this is what we've done. We've started with 2 double crochets on this row. We are going to alternate between 2 and 1. I'll show you that as we go along. We work along, we skip this magic ring here, but we do work into the top of this point here. So I'm going to go along and finish this row. I'll meet you at the end and we'll start a new row together. I'm nearly to the end here of row 1. I'm doing 4 rows of these double crochets. I've done my 2 double crochets in the white. Now I'm just going to go down and do 2 double crochets into the chain space of this grey triangle. Now we're going to start the next row with 1 double crochet. You can just use 3 chains if you prefer, but instead of using 3 chains, I'm going to use stacked single crochets. So you turn your hook and pop it through the top of the double crochet below, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 single crochet. Now take your hook around again through the center of that single crochet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That just gives it a little more beef. So now we're going to turn our work over and we're working on the back side. So we'll go straight into this space here and do 2 double crochet. Working over to the next one with 2 double crochet. And from now on it's easy going because you've set it up on the first row of double crochets. So you just do 2 double crochets into each space until we get to the other side. At the end of row 2, we'll do 2 double crochets in this last space, and then we're just going to do 1 double crochet into the top of that first double crochet we made below. Okay, now I'm going to twist myself back again and do another stacked single crochet. You can do 3 chains if you like. I'm going to turn my work. This row, number 3, is a row where we start with 2 double crochets, and I'm going to pop my second double crochet into that space directly below, like so. Okay, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, and now we just keep going along. It's nice and easy and pretty quick too. At the end of row 3, we do 1 double crochet in that last space and 1 double crochet into the top of that last double crochet there from below. And that gives it a nice straight edging to the side. Now for our row number 4, I'm just doing 1 double crochet to start. So I'm turning my hook back on itself, popping my hook through the top of the double crochet, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1 single crochet. Now I'm going to stack another one on the top, popping my hook through the center of the one below, pull a loop up, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we'll turn our work. And then we are just going to do 2 double crochets into the very next space. And so on and so forth. At the end of row number 4, do 2 double crochets into that last space, and now we're just going to do 1 double crochet into the very last double crochet from below. There we go. Now we're going to snip our yarn off and weave these yarn ends in.